Ladies and gents, welcome once again to All Things Covered. You guys know how we rock and roll. I am BMac Bryant McFadden. Got my guy P2 Patrick Peterson.
Yes,
Jam-packed show for you guys. Skull Nation. I hope you're fired up because we're fired up. It's a great day to be alive, and it's a great day to root and play for the Minnesota Vikings. Currently 4-1. Bears week recap. The Vikings take care of their business 29-22. Last week, my prediction was Minnesota winning 23-13. Not that far off. Most importantly, I predicted the Vikings to win, and guess what? They won. But let's start at the end, right? I think that is definitely the place to start our conversation in regards to recapping the Bears' victory for the Minnesota Vikings. How amazing was that play by Cam Dantzler, Pat Pete?
Man, that was a big time play by my boy Needle. He stood up for us for sure. We make a big point of emphasis of getting after the ball. When the ball is, when a runner has a ball, it's an opportunity for us, to get it away from him. And Cam, he did just that. He went out there and took the ball away from Amir, and it was a big time play, heads up play on his behalf, not a heads up play on Amir behalf, trying to get out of bounds and let alone securing the ball. But yeah, man, it was a great play and a big time moment, and just Cam just continuing to his stock is steady rising, man. It's a pleasure to be the opposite corner of him to watch his progression throughout this season.
And talking about his stock rising, we know he's been visiting your house, coming over to do some film study. How have you seen the film preparation translate to the football field in regards to Cam Dantzler?
Just each and every week, we're just getting better, off of each other, as far as each and every week, each and every game we go into, we're just trying to find ways to get better from the previous game because we know teams are going to try to attack, some of the weaknesses that we may have shown in the previous week, so just having him more aware of that, going into the next game, and also being more aware of, of the opposing team that we're about to play, of their strategy as well. So It's a lot that goes into, being a great defensive back. And, it's just a couple of nuggets that I want to continue to show him to help, continue to help elevate his game into whole.
Yeah. And one thing I want to ask you about, the way you guys started the game. I mean, you kicked down the doors, the front and the back door. What was working for you guys both on the defensive side and the offensive side and to start the game, to get off to a nice lead against the Bears?
I just think, on the defensive side of the ball, just really getting after, Justin and really, for making those guys predictable. Like I talked about last week, it's tough to call a game when a team is, 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3, the whole playbook is open. So when we were able to win, early downs, first downs, making it, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 12, those were great opportunities for us winning that series. And it showed, so, we just had to continue just harping on, that because, the proof is in the pudding now. If we're able to get teams behind the chains, the chains, and force them force our play caller to put us in a much more favorable position to be successful. And that's some of the things that we did, in the first half, and it kind of slipped away a little bit, getting into that game. But that's just how the league is. It's going to be ebbs and flows. Teams going to find something that may work for them. And, like we talked about, we were a couple plays away from that game really being blown out of proportion. The third down catch by Mooney, the miraculous catch he made, I don't know how he held on to that one. I just feel like, especially how hot our offense was, because at that point it was 21-3, if I'm not mistaken. So we get the ball back, we get more points. Now their play calling mentality may change a little bit. You know what I mean? So it was just things like that that went on in that game. And on offense, they did the same thing that we did. They started very fast, had those guys off balance with the play actions, with the boots. JJ, doing him as he do each and every week. And Dalvin, being a big part of the offense performance this week, I believe having over 120 plus all-purpose yards.
Yeah, 2 tubs. Clearly his best game of the season so far.
Best game. So when you have those guys clicking, Kurt being 17-17 to start the game off, so when you have those guys clicking on all cylinders like that, that's just the result that you're going to get, So we also understand that, games are going to get harder, stakes are going to get bigger. Our target's going to get bigger on our back, because we're sitting pretty right now at number 1 in our division. But we have to be able to relish that. We have to be able to, take that on, because that's where you want to be. Mm-hmm. That's where you want to be. And that's what builds, to me, that's what builds true character. Yeah. How are you able to handle success?
And with that fast start, you guys kind of made me a little nervous in the second half. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of fans that are tuning in, checking us out. We appreciate you guys, by the way. Got a little nervous because the Bears started to get some things going offensively. Justin Fields was running around, improvising, making things happen with his legs and his arms. And then defensively for Chicago, they were coming up with some stops. So what kind of derailed a little bit in the second half to give the Bears an opportunity to make this game a little dicey?
I just think the momentum shift. We just had to ride the wave until we found a way to capture it back. It's just all about, Coach Donatel always, at least in camp, always, preached about, diffusing momentum. What I mean? And that's some things that teams have a hard time doing. And no matter how it comes and where it may come 2 minutes left in the ball game. Mm-hmm. At some point, you're gonna have to find a way to diffuse the momentum. And at that point, it came, in the second half, probably I want to say when they got the ball back, they kind of tell that the momentum was kind of changing to their side.
They scored 19 unanswered points.
Yes. So about a quarter and a half, the momentum started going to their side. And, then we buckled down, bit down on our chin strap, and we knew that we was, put ourselves in a dogfight. We've been here before. Now it's all about relying on each other, executing the game plan, and finding a way to come out with a dub.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing. You guys could not do that. You couldn't do that last year. You couldn't find a way to win. You found a way to lose. So I understand people might be, concerned about the close games and stuff like that in the NFL because it's so hard to win. You just want to win and continue to pile up victories. There's no such thing as style points.
And think about this, man. 2 weeks ago, 15 or 17 games were decided by 1 point, by a touchdown.
Yeah, one possession.
I think this week it was maybe 10 of the 16 games, Eric, if you don't mind looking that up. But it was another high number. Every game that you played in, Matt, you could probably count on your hand. I know I can. On how many games you played in that was actually a blowout.
No, it's very few. It doesn't happen.
It don't happen. It do not happen. Yeah. So NFL fans, that's the NFL. That's why you pay the big bucks to watch it, because for the excitement. And that's what you're going to get in the fourth quarter of every NFL game.
To piggyback off of what you're saying, that's why you rarely see, and I'm talking gambling now, double-digit favorites. You don't usually see teams
11 of 16, Matt.
Yeah, 11 to 16 in week 5 decided by one score. That's why you don't usually see double-digit favorites in the National Football League, because it's hard. And even if you're playing against a team with a bad record, man, you don't usually see that consistently, like you would in college football.
Right.
Individually speaking, you got your first PI of the year, first pass interference, but a pretty clean game overall. What can you say about your performance against the Bears?
That was it was a ticky-tack call. I thought Mooney sold it a little bit, but it is what it is. It was a PI, at the end of the day. But for the most part, I thought I played clean. I thought I covered well, just on the one deep out. One thing about when you're in cover 4, Matt, You take care of 8 and 9, you challenge the comeback.
So, no question. If they complete that, if they beat you completing that, that's
man. So that's what happened on that route right there. And I don't know where the second reception came from that Pro Football Focus
PFF.
came up with. Yeah, I don't know where that came at. I don't know if they're talking about the little screen that the third receiver caught when I'm clearly guarding somebody else. That was a 6-yard gain. I gave up the 18-yard comeback. Last time I checked, Matt, 18 plus 6 is 24. So they said I gave up 2 targets, 2 receptions on 2 targets with 24 yards.
Yep.
So that means to tell me that they're saying I gave up a reception on a guy that wasn't even mine. That was at the third receiver that ran out to a slip screen. I'm fighting the block to make this tackle. Therefore, the grader, he must have got something out of the microwave. He must have and saw me make the tackle. Oh, yeah, that was his guy, and just said, yeah, that was his man. Matter of fact, I went to extreme measures. I even got the play right here.
Oh, you got the play?
I got the play right here so that everybody can see it. That dude was clearly the number 3 receiver. I made the tackle, and they said that was my guy.
Yeah, I mean
that's just one of the things that I'm talking about. Like last week, how are you guys grading? Like, what are you guys looking at? Because that clearly was not my guy, and that's not the first time. I can show you play after play after play after play from 5 years ago.
Yeah, you got an archive.
Man, pro football, what it is? Pro fantasy football, man. That's what it is.
Pro fantasy football.
Man, because it just show you, I can't trust them.
Yeah.
I can't trust them, but everybody in the world trusts them, and I can show you proof that some of the stuff that they be putting up there, if they want somebody to give out some real grades, please hire me when I retire. Please, I will be the professor of how to grade defensive back for professional fantasy football.
But there you have it, PFF. You need a guy to help you improve, and not to mention, Pat is not the only current player that have an issue with some of the things.
I'm just saying,
in regards to grades.
Because at the end of the day, Matt, like for tackling, for an example, I didn't miss a tackle yesterday.
They got 77.8.
That's a C in my book. That's a C.
Yeah. Now, they gave you 66 in run defense.
And I thought I made 2 great tackles in the run defense. Stopped the quarterback option one time, tackled the quarterback. But yeah, man, I don't know what they be looking at, bro. I really don't, man. And matter of fact, what I want them to do is I want them to show me the two targets I gave up.
The 2 targets.
Post that. Yeah, I want them to post that. Show me the 24 yards I gave up.
Well, hopefully they catch wind of this conversation.
They can't. They ain't gonna be able to show you. Matter of fact, Matt, when I saw this strip, I went back and double checked the tape myself. I was like,
you thought you were tripping?
I said, I know, man. I had to go fish. I said, oh, this is what they talking about. This screen on the third receiver, he gained 6 yards. I made the tackle. Oh, they must have thought that was my guy.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hey, well, there's a lot to digest.
Matt, this is my last time talking about this, man, because obviously they just shown me they ain't giving us proper grades.
Yeah.
So
but like you said last week, Pat P, as long as your defensive back coach understands and giving you the accurate, deserving grade, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and what I want is I hope that grade is what get passed around to the GMs around the league versus watching pro fantasy football.
Hey, no doubt. Pat P, last question before we get into the Dolphins preview. What does it mean to be 3-0 in the division? NFC North, you played against 3 teams. You've beaten all 3 teams you played against. And knowing how important taking care of your business in the division is in regards to the playoff spots. What does it mean to be 3-0 in the division?
Man, Mac, as you know, you played in 3 Super Bowls?
Yes, sir.
It starts in the division. Starts in the division. So, when you're able to get a leg up on the division early in the season, that's a big bonus. You know what I mean? And having the opportunity to play all 3 of those guys, within the 6 weeks, of the season, that's huge as well. So We got a lot of momentum right now, within the division. We just have to continue, to keep that up. Like I said earlier, the target on our back going to continue to get bigger, because teams going to start chasing us. Teams going to start pulling out things that we haven't seen before in games to get victory. So as a team, we have to be prepared for that. And, for me as a player, that's why I play the game, to have that target on your back, to be able to show up when the time is, because that's why you play the game, for those big time moments, man.
No doubt. Well, Viking Nation, Skull Nation, I'm sorry. I hope you guys enjoyed that Bears recap. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, you guys know what time it is. It's on to the next. The Dolphin preview will be up next. Now it's time for the Dolphins preview. Yes, sir. The Miami Dolphins will be hosting the Minnesota Vikings this Sunday. Our very own Patrick Peterson is going to the crib.
Yes,
as
sir.
we like to call it.
Just hold on, I'm coming home.
Yeah, what's the feeling like going home? You know what I mean? Going home. And number one, hold on. Do you have a large amount of tickets? Do you have a large, ticket request list to take care of? Or are you just kind of keeping everything kind of marginal a little bit, to say the least?
No, Mac, don't play that no more, man. I'm in year 12. Yeah, I ain't doing that no more, man. We're going to be at the crib. I got a 15 ticket limit.
That's
and
it.
Hell, 10 of them already going to my family. The other 5.
You got to play rock, paper, scissors. Just close your eyes and pick a name.
That's all I got, because at the end of the day, I'm paying for these tickets.
Yeah. People don't realize that. People think because we play, you get tickets free. No. You get 2 free home ones. At home, you get 2 free. Is that still accurate?
Yes, that's still a thing.
And everything else you got to pay for.
Oh man.
Yeah. I remember when I played the Super Bowl, man, everybody was asking about, can I get a ticket? I'm like, hey, man, no Super Bowl tickets, pricey too. You got to spend. They're like $2,500, $2,600 a ticket.
I know.
And you can buy them for 15. They're gonna take it out that Super Bowl check.
Yeah,
that check
man.
Be a little light.
He'll be on TV.
Well, I'm gonna watch it from TV, my guy. I'm gonna be tuned in. And this is your second time. I didn't know this. This is your second time playing down in Miami. The first time was 2016, 26-23 loss. 26-23 loss when you were with the Cardinals. But what people might not know about Pat Pete, growing up, this man loved the Miami Dolphins.
I did, man.
Hey, describe your Dolphins fandom growing up as a youngster down in South Florida.
Man, Mac, nobody can tell me nothing about my Miami Dolphins.
That song all the time, right?
Yes, sir, man. My favorite player, obviously everybody gonna say Dan Marino. Dan was the man, no doubt about it. But Patrick Surtain.
That's your favorite player?
That was my man.
When Pat Surtain and then Sam Madison. No question. Brock Marion.
Boy. T-Buck was in with the boys for a little bit.
T-Buck was in that secondary too. He played with the boys.
So
they crossed paths.
Man, Pat Surtain, that was like my favorite guy to watch, when I did watch it, while I was watching the Dolphins. Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor, Vonnie Holiday. My boy Joey Porter was down there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Man, I remember I ain't gonna never forget. I remember we signed David Boston.
David Boston. Man, listen, I played against David Boston my rookie year?
No, I did not know that. But when we signed him,
go ahead.
Matt, but when we signed up by instantly, we're going to the Super Bowl. He was like T.O., like far as his size and everything. He was just
T.O. Hey,
no, he was.
We played my rookie year. We played Miami in the preseason, and I'm out there early in the game. Freaking David Boston come to my side.
Ooh.
We playing a 5-zone coverage. I got a man-to-man. I'm playing off technique. And I grew up watching David Boston. All I remember is the freaking fight between him and Charles Woods in Ohio State versus Michigan, right in Ann Arbor. But this David Boston looked different than what I saw in Ohio State. That man came through his forearms was big, buys and tries popping out. He must have had oil all on his body. He was glistening. I said, man. I said, what? I said, boy, my luck. I'm out here playing off. They're going to hit him with a hitch. I said, I already know. I'm a rookie. They're going to hit him with a hit. I said, Matt, Just know this is a grown man. Hey, and sure enough, Pat P, they threw the hitch route.
Oh my goodness.
They threw the hitch route, and I said, man, because the first thing I see is all the muscles. The man calf popping out his legs. He got quads coming in. I said, man, this man gonna try to run me over. Luckily enough, he tried to sidestep me. You know what I mean? So I made sure I had kept my outside contained, forced them in. But man, David Boston was a specimen, bro.
David Boston, Chris Chambers, we had my boy
Chambers
Ronnie
was a
Brown.
beast. Yeah. Hey, that's my draft class. Ronnie Brown.
My boy, who was always, man, he was good as a backup. He wasn't good as when we made him the starter. But that doggone, is it Gus Farrut?
He's a quarterback.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ooh, boy, he was sharp as a backup. Anytime the starter got hurt, he came in and wheeled us to a W. But got the doggone it when we made him the starter.
Yep.
Woo!
No question. It's different. Gus Farrut.
But yeah, man. Gus Farrut, that's his name. But yeah, man, there you go. Man, name some all-time Dolphins, man. That's how big of a fan I was. Also, my tight end name, number 81.
Randy McMichael.
Randy McMichael.
Went to Georgia.
Randy McMichael, yeah.
Yeah.
Ricky Williams.
Oh, yeah, Ricky Williams. Oh, Ricky Williams,
man, my favorite game with Ricky Williams when they played Buffalo when it snowed. Ricky had to run for about 250. I remember first play 80 up the sideline. They had white jerseys on, the teal pants, teal white. That boy Ricky had that orange visor on. Ooh,
yes, sir.
That's when I used to play. Hey, that's when I used to play with the Dolphins too on Madden.
Oh, man,
business. Yeah, I used to give you business.
No, I don't remember that, my guy. I don't remember that. Hey, I would tell you. He had, matter of fact, Pat P, he had 27 carries that game. You told me about 228 yards.
Huh?
2 touchdowns.
Did I not say he run for about 250?
Career high.
I remember that game like it was yesterday.
You said that, boy. You got a good memory. You got a great memory. I would tell you, since you're playing against the Dolphins, you're a Dolphin fan, to go ahead and rock a Dan Marino throwback, but now that might not be a good look. You gotta.
I can't do that.
You can't do that. You can rock your Randy Moss throwback or something like that, but not during the season. You can't rock the Marino during the season. Not when you're playing against them. So looking at this current group of guys, I don't expect to see Tua Tagovailoa play. Last week, Teddy Bridgewater got pulled because of the changing of the protocols, not knowing exactly who you guys will see at the quarterback position. What are your early impressions on Miami's offense with first-year head coach Mike McDaniel?
Man, very aggressive. Very, very aggressive, want to take their shots. You can tell he took a little bit of a couple pages out of Kyle Shanahan playbook out of the 49ers as far as the run game, the run attack that they're trying to implement over there into their scheme. But they are taking shots, and rightfully so. I mean, they have two speedsters, arguably probably one of the fastest receivers to ever play the game in Tyreek Hill. You got Waddle out there and a young, talented receiver out there as well, in a complementary running game. So they have all the tools, implemented to give them the right to be aggressive, So our plate is going to be full. We definitely cannot allow any big plays because this team thrive, off those big plays. So we understand the playmakers that they have. We're not quite sure on which quarterback that we will be facing, but at the end of the day, I just got done watching the Jets game not too long ago, and those guys still was trying to get the ball down the field. So their identity is not going to change, So we just have to be prepared for whoever is under the gun come Sunday.
Well, Pat P, break it down for us. You talked about Waddle and Hill, two extremely fast guys, probably two of the fastest wide receivers in the National Football League. But in terms with your technique, knowing you're going against this type of speed, how do you attack this ball game, knowing the type of speed you're going against?
Just trying to, for the most part, just trying to be close as possible to coverage and just relying on your safety help, over the top, because we understand that these guys have, very, very elite speed, and that's one thing that speed guys want defensive backs to fear is their speed. But at the end of the day, we're not on the field by ourselves. We just have to understand where our help is. And it is going to be times to where we are going to have a hard down to where we won't have safety help.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, we play cornerback. We just have to blow up for that down, So at the end of the day, as long as we understand the formations that they want to get into when they take their shots, taking those shots away, try to force those guys to beat us left-handed, then we'll be okay.
Yeah, and what people, if you're not aware of the schedule, this is the last game before the bye week. So how important is it to head into the bye week coming off a huge victory?
It's very important. It's very important, not only for the team morale, but like I said, we're fighting for a position. In the early part of the season is always positioning time. And then come late October, that's when teams start separating themselves, so
no question.
We're just trying to put ourselves in the best position possible, and that's trying to win every game Sunday. And it's nothing like going into a bye week, with a dub. Just those days off just feel that much better. The coffee you drink in the morning just tastes that much better.
That Sprite tastes better.
Yeah, that Sprite. I ain't gonna have no Sprite in the off on my off day, but I will have me some Sincro. Somebody pass me some Sincro. That shout out to my boy MJ with the that Reposado tequila. I will have me a bottle of that.
I was about to say, what's Sincro? What that is?
Sincro, man. That's that my MJ tequila.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. I ain't never heard that before.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't even drink it. That's why you ain't hear it. That's why you hear about it. But yeah, man, the air tastes a little cleaner. Everything just a whole lot better when you go into the bye week with the dub. So we get a dub going. That's the most important part is obviously keeping the leg up on the division. Keep our position where we are right now, which is I think we're second in NFC, which is, don't mean anything right now if we can't continue to sustain piling up W's. So at the end of the day, Matt, we preparing to win every single week.
Every single week. That's the mindset. With that being said, Pat P's prediction time. BMac's prediction. I got Minnesota Vikings winning 24-17. 24-17 Minnesota way. I like that. I 7-point
You've been pretty close lately.
Huh? I've been getting close.
Yeah, you've been close lately.
I hit 2 parlays this weekend too, by the way, folks. 2 parlays. I hit 2
parlays.
I hit a 4-teamer and a 5-teamer.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
League or college? Collegiate.
The 4-teamer was one NFL, was the Thursday night game. I took the under. No, I took the Colts. Winning that game, covering the spread, but they actually won, so I was good. And I had 3 college teams.
Hey,
right?
Speaking of the Thursday night game, sorry to cut you off.
Yep.
Did we talk about that game?
What you want to talk about? How bad? What we talk? Would you?
Hey, man, you remember what Richard said?
Oh, about Russell. Man, listen. We
haven't talked about that game.
We're gonna tap into that in around the league. That's
okay,
what we're
gonna
do.
My
that's
bad.
what we're gonna do. No question. But with that being said, the predictions 24-17. Right, we're gonna take a quick break. As soon as we come back from this break, we're gonna talk about that Thursday night game. Pat P brought it up. Let's go.
Let's go.
We're back from break. It's 4th quarter of our show. We're about to wrap it up. Before we do, let's tap into around the league. Pat P brought something to my attention. This past Thursday, it was the Colts traveling to Denver. Colts without Jonathan Taylor. It didn't matter. They won. That was a tough watch. That was a tough watch. Like it wasn't a lot going on.
Mac, I saw something so funny, bro. This literally had me in tears. So we're in the locker room, and Cam showed me this post. It was like some dude was talking about something. Amazon Prime, I want my money back. That wasn't no football game. That was a soccer match.
Man, it was a tough watch, man. That was a tough watch. It was great for me because I had the Colts to cover their spread, but they won. But let's talk about Russell Wilson. Talk about is there a more disappointing quarterback, right, in the National Football League when a guy has expectations, lofty expectations, but not reaching those expectations? Has there been another disappointing quarterback more so than Russell? I don't think so, Pat P.
And I don't. And, now that the injury, they saying that he got something with his shoulder, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're saying that.
Yeah. So the injuries is is something that's been hindering him from being who he is. But here is my take. I had an opportunity to play Russell for 10 years. 10 years. I've been saying it forever. Russ is he's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. All his accolades, all that's there. But I never seen Russ throw over I'd probably say 20 passes on time, as far as him just dropping back in his 3-step, get rid of the ball.
He runs around and.
So what I'm saying is, if Denver want this to be a success, they have to go. They have literally. We can't run our offense. We can't run the offense that we ran with in Green Bay. We got to pull pages from what he did very well in Seattle, meaning get him on the boot, getting receivers on the same page with him, because that's one thing he did have. He didn't have no big receivers. He had no big-time receivers, but he had receivers that was on the same page with him, finding ways to get open. Lockett, Doug, Metcalf, Golden Tate. I'm just talking about all the receivers in his pass.
Yeah.
It's not – how many times you seen those guys just straight up rock somebody up?
Yeah.
Not many. Every touchdown that they ever caught, I guarantee you over 60% of them was off a broken play. I remember one time we had to cover their receiver group for 13 seconds.
Dang.
13 seconds, bro. So what I'm saying is their personnel that they have right now there is good, but it's not matching up with what Russell like to do, far as making things happen with his legs, on the move, creating extra time, because he understood that was something that gave defenses problems, the extra time. Anytime he threw the ball on time, it was not either picked off, thrown behind somebody, not on time. He threw the ball better on the move. He was not a pocket stationary quarterback. Yeah. And that's what it looks like Denver is trying to make him, and that's not him.
It sounds like you're just basically saying Russ need to go out and play backyard football.
And that's what I've been saying for 10 years. Every year we play, I say, man, we ain't doing nothing but playing backyard football. That's all we doing. We ain't doing nothing but playing backyard football.
Hey, and get this, Pat P. If you look at the two situations, I never thought I would say this, but it seems like Seattle got the better quarterback.
Man.
Now, Geno Smith is playing some good football.
He is. He's playing complimentary football.
They're scoring points.
Scoring points, not turning the ball over. Defense is kind of keeping them in some games when they are clicking on all cylinders. So he's just not making any mistakes. And I think that was, that's my biggest take from seeing the Denver Russell and the Seattle Russell. We're not seeing that backyard action. We're not seeing creating extra time with his legs, because the 10 years that I played him, he was never in the pocket throwing the football, ever. Yeah. And if he was, it was probably a screen or probably a slant flat. Anything over 5 yards, he was breaking the pocket. The receivers knew he was breaking. I remember one time, kid you not, Doug Baldwin told us as a receiver, like, we just run to get open. And that gave me validity that they play backyard football, man. Wow. I'm telling you. And that's what made Russ successful, rightfully so. He took advantage of it. But as far as him being a pocket quarterback, you don't see him being a pocket quarterback on Sundays.
Well, I know one thing. They better get it together. They gave this man a nice deal, over $200 million. They had their eyes set on the prize, but right now, offensively, they're not delivering. Russell's not delivering, and maybe they should take your advice. Just go ahead and incorporate a looser style of play. Offensively, let this man do what he's been doing throughout his career.
Russell Wilson should not be up under the center.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson should be in the shotgun all the time, because he's not a guy unless he's a boot. because he's already too short. He can't see over the offensive lineman. So why are you making you putting a stack of the odds against him right already?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I tell you this much: Seattle happy with everything right now. They got all them draft picks, and they got Geno Smith who balling and who basically outplaying the former quarterback in Russell Wilson. So they smiling right now. They've been more competitive than I thought they would be. So that's a plus to their staff.
Hey, but you can never count out a Pete Carroll's team. He's like a Bill Belichick. Like they gonna be competitive. No matter who they put out there on the football field, they're gonna be a competitive squad. Yeah.
In other news, Pat P, the NFL officiating. Officials have been struggling. I already know what they need to do. But what I saw Sunday with the Grady Jarrett roughing the passer on Tom Brady, and then Monday night, Chris Jones, the roughing the passer call on Chris Jones, they got to stop that. They need to make these calls reviewable, and that's it. Make that a. But
I think that's the thing, though, Matt. If they make it reviewable, it's just going to become just like the defensive back thing. They're going to have it reviewable for the season, for one season. But this is slowing up the game. We get too much of this. But then at the same time, sometimes when you review it, it looks worse than it does when it's full speed.
And that's what they need to do. The same way they review touchdowns, right? They need to do the same thing because people can lose games because of these bad calls. It almost burned KC because if that was not called roughing the passer, they would have been already in field goal range, but probably could have scored a touchdown. Luckily enough, they were able to win that ball game. But think about Tampa and Atlanta. Because of that call, Atlanta didn't get the ball back.
Right.
And that was on third down.
I thought both of them was horrible call.
They were horrible.
Horrible call. And the fact that my man took the ball away from him before he hit the ground, that should have been reviewable. It was a turnover.
Exactly. Man, listen, they got to change that up. I know they want to protect the quarterbacks by any means.
And I get that. They got a helmet on too.
No question. They got pads.
Hey, but to stay on that game, Mac, tell me why the Raiders went for 2 with 4 minutes to go.
Analytics. They do analytics. I said this the same night. I never seen analytics make a tackle, catch a pass, block anybody. Stop relying on analytics. My thing is this,
Pat. What sense did that make?
Regardless of what happened, if you kick the extra point, you make it, or if you go for 2 and you make it, regardless, your defense was going to have to get a stop.
And regardless, you was getting the ball back again anyway with 4:23 to go.
Your defense was going to have to get a stop. So why don't you put your defenders out on the football field in a better situation knowing the game is tied because you kicked the extra point instead of making them trot out there, losing by 1 still because you went for 2.
And on top of that, Matt, they came out there and stopped them people. So therefore, now versus you putting the pressure on yourself with, I forgot how many minutes they had left in the game. Now you can have, all right, now we got control of this game versus being in a panic mode, trying to get in field goal position.
That's horrible. Stop.
I said they're going to lose the game. As soon as they went for 2, I said, if they don't get it, they're going to lose the football game.
Brandon Staley, the coach for the Chargers, it's a minute 40 seconds left. The ball is basically on their 45 or 40-yard line. It's 4th and 2. They got a 2-point lead, Pat P. Guess what he decides to do?
Yeah, he went for it.
Because if you don't get it, they're already basically in field goal range. If you don't get it, luckily enough, the Browns did a Brown thing, and they missed the field goal. I don't know what these coaches are doing.
Man, me either. But I mean, they actually get fired. I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro, what are you doing?
Because I be financially invested. I be having bets on here. Y'all doing this dumb. This is dumb. Man, stop believing. Analytics ain't never scored a touchdown. I ain't never see analytics.
I'm trying to tell you, as soon as analytics ain't got to stand on that podium, you to be like, all right. And the first thing you're gonna say, well, it was a strong probability. Analytics says, we should go for it here. What?
Man, stop that, man.
So the numbers, you telling me the numbers right now, you're down one field goal. I mean, 1 point, 4 minutes to go in the football. I can understand if it's 13 seconds left in the game. Yeah, analytics can say go for it. But did y'all put in the computer how much time was left?
So my thing is this, Pat Pete, it's okay to utilize football common sense.
That was not football common sense.
Like let's just look at it from the common sense side of things in football life. Kick the extra point. It's a tie game.
Because what are you gaining? What are you gaining from that? From being 1 point up right now?
Because if you're 1 point up, you still got to get a defensive stop. You still got to stop them.
So therefore, you're getting the ball back again.
And guess what, Pat Pete? They lost by 1.
Yeah.
They lost by 1 point.
Sad, man.
Sad.
It was sad to watch, man, because I knew they was gonna lose. I just knew it.
I had Kansas City win straight up though. That's part of my 5-teamer. And that was the last leg of my 5-team parlay. And I just need Kansas City to win outright, and they did so. So shout out to Josh McDaniels for that decision. It helped me win my 5-team parlay. In other news, Matt Rule was the first coach to get fired. About time. Never want to see a man lose his job, but I felt like that was a weird situation when they hired him from Baylor. They hired him from Baylor, gave him the money they gave him. It was like, what? Some coaches should just stay on the college level. Just stay on the college level. With that being said, the interim head coach is Steve Wilkes, guy he was with in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Yeah, he didn't get a fair shot in Arizona, but hopefully he can kind of revitalize things in Carolina. And before I let you go, Pat Pete, did you see the video? Did you see the video of Draymond punching Jordan Poole?
Oh, I did, man. That was bad, bro. That was bad, man.
Number one, I don't know who released that video, but they need to be listen. They did wrong for releasing that video. Because my thing is this,
man, that was bad, bro.
Draymond is dead wrong for doing that to your teammate. Number one, he treated that guy like he was a stranger on the street.
100%.
But number two, Jordan Poole, everyone saw you take one. And nothing happened from that. Like,
because the man was asleep, man. He couldn't do nothing.
Well, when he get up, even if the video is cut off, when I get up, somebody gonna say that boy went crazy. You got to do something. You got to make people think you want to fight. Man, just go grab something. Just start throwing some paperwork and throwing all the basketballs off the rack. Just throw all the basketballs off the rack. Make the people think you want to fight. Even if you don't want to fight, when you come to, man, just go to the basketball rack and just start throwing the racks and the basketballs everywhere, man, and say, "Let me out." What? You just got.
When you come to,
when you finally wake back up, go. Make somebody come grab you.
I'm not laughing at Jordan Poole. I'm laughing at you, bro.
But right or wrong, Pat, you can't get hit like that. Them people got you on video. Now the whole world saw you get hit like that, and we don't hear nothing else. Like the next, he went, like you said, Pat, he went to sleep for a little minute. But what happened when he came to?
Man, the video went off. We don't know what happened.
But yeah, that's the thing. But you know, eyes and ears are everywhere. We didn't hear anything. They say you didn't know how they.
But if you think about it too, though. If the video when it came out, we wouldn't have thought this punch was that serious because they tried to butter that up.
Yeah, we wouldn't think it was a punch. It was
That's what I'm saying.
It's like the Ray Rice video. You know, we heard what happened, then when we saw it, we like, oh.
Yeah.
Like we heard Draymond got in an altercation with Jordan.
Right.
But when
all they said was an altercation. He punches Jordan Poole in the face. It was like, all right. All right.
But when I saw the video,
that could have been a slap or anything.
Man, listen, man. Draymond just didn't like Jordan Poole. I think that's something personal. You don't do your teammate like that. They got some beef going on. But my thing is this, though.
The reports are saying Jordan Poole came into camp arrogant.
He got paid? I think he got paid too.
No, did he? I think he's getting a bag.
I think they gave him a check. It wasn't a big check, but you know, I think he got paid.
Yeah, they say he came in arrogant, man. That's what the report said.
So yeah, Draymond didn't like him. Draymond did wrong for that. But Jordan, you did wrong.
And they also said, Mac, too, they said, quote unquote, P2 did not say this. They said Draymond was getting a little offended because they started saying Jordan Poole was a new member of the Big Three.
So it felt like there were some personal ties.
No contract for Poole yet. No
contract for him yet.
So he's waiting on the contract.
Yeah, Draymond. All I'm saying is this Jordan Poole.
So right now, you the team, obviously what you do with Draymond though? Like, I mean, this ain't the first time. This ain't the second time. This ain't the third time.
You gotta talk.
This ain't the fifth time.
He can't be trying to be the bully out there and everything like that.
That ain't gonna change. Draymond is Draymond. Draymond is who he is.
Well, somebody had to tip that out there. You know, you ain't always the baddest man out there. You think you're the baddest man. He just swung on the one who wasn't gonna swing back.
But then again, if you have somebody like that, right? Do that, and obviously Warriors know him very well, so it's not messing up any team chemistry because they obviously win championships over there. But like, how do you think that impacted the team though? Like, is this the first time that somebody's been slept? Is this the first time? I know we know he's been in altercation, right?
Yeah.
But is this the first time that he actually put his hands on a teammate?
I think so. Draymond is a professional where he knows that certain things can't be tolerated. I think he allowed his emotions to get the best of him that particular day. Right.
Gotcha.
And I think there's a little personal issue, might not be there now, but then between those two players. So with this happening and Draymond publicly apologizing, I think he would be, he would utilize more sound structure behavior. But at the end of the day, he's dead wrong. All I'm saying is this, Jordan Poole, because I don't know how they do it in basketball, when you're playing against an opposing team and someone got some information about you or somebody you close to, boys will spray you in the football field. Like Jordan Poole, I see he just did a little nice move against the Lakers in preseason football, Like, man, he's celebrating it with a nice move. Somebody from the opposing team will say, hey, man, why you ain't use them same moves on Draymond?
So he's a punching bag, is what you said.
Oh, Pat P, the fans gonna get it. The fans gonna let him have it. That's why I'm saying, unfortunately, the video came out and we all saw it.
Yeah, it was bad, man. I was surprised, bro. I really was surprised, man. I was like, no freaking way Draymond did.
Man, he gonna have a tough year. I don't care how good he plays. Anytime they on the road, hopefully the fans have a kind heart. And just be nice to him and lenient to him. But otherwise, they're gonna be like, Jordan Poole, you gotta, we know that chin saw, because you can't take one. They're gonna be talking trash to him.
The chin saw.
No, man, players gonna be talking trash. All I'm saying is Pat P, when he came to, he's supposed to act like he wanna fight. Let me at him. Where he at? This ain't over. Man, man. No. Even if you feel like you can't beat the man up, when you see him, just get one off. Yeah. And just hope that's a good one to put him to sleep, and you ain't really got to fight.
He should honestly at the goal, man. He should have just had his guard up at the get. Yeah, he pushed him. He pushed him to gain his space, but we know Draymond. Draymond got a quick temper. Hell, if he walking towards me, that means he ready to fight. Like that means he ready to bump. So once I push him, it ain't just gonna be oh man, da. It's gonna be boom. All right, it's time to go.
But see, I don't think Poole actually thought Draymond was going to hit him like that. You know what I mean?
Shit.
And I guess he thought Draymond was going to treat him like a teammate.
I don't know Draymond. Just his track record.
Yeah,
I would have thought it.
Like man,
listen, any man that I push,
you know what? Poole went to Michigan.
Any man that I push, if I'm pushing somebody, therefore that means I'm ready to fight as well. If I'm pushing,
Draymond walked up in his face. So Draymond walked up in his closed space. So
but that's what I'm saying. So therefore, he already violated me. He walked up in my space. So therefore, he's telling me he won't fight. Exactly. So I'm thinking his mentality is already he want to fight. So back up off me, you're in my space. Now let me get my shit together, and now let's rock.
It's the Michigan State rival. Poole went to Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. That's probably what it was. Along with something else. It got to be something else. But all I'm saying is, man, Draymond gave him one. He gave him one. Luckily, he didn't get no raccoon now. Because
I think he got him right in the jaw. He got him right at that button right there.
Yeah, because we had that raccoon eye. You can't be out there playing preseason basketball with that coon eye.
Yeah, it would have been
raccoon eye.
I would have took a couple of weeks off myself. If I had a black eye,
Pat, throw the basketball rack. Throw something. You got to start throwing everything. Water bottles, kicking tables over and say, let me at him. We at him.
I'm with you.
But
when I come to,
when he finally come to and get himself together, you gotta act like you really want to fight. You got to
let me at him.
Just kick all the basketballs off the rack, the 3-point basketballs and everything, and kick the table over, the bullet, the notepads from the coaches.
Everything.
Man, everything. But hey, man, hopefully it's a smooth season for him, but he's gonna have a rough one. He's gonna have a rough one, Pat P. Hey,
it'll all blow over though, just like everything else. It'll all blow over. It'll blow over.
Pat P. I'm saying, not for him this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna blow over after this year. Like it's not gonna be like
he's on the road, and you already know a lot of fans don't like the Warriors because they win so much. Every time he's on the road, and Lord, if he going off,
it's just gonna last this year. And like you said, when he go off, ain't nobody even gonna remember it.
They're gonna become when he start dropping them.
I'm telling you, man.
Like, man,
That's just like you remember when who that was that stole off on Kobe, RP Kobe. Reggie Miller, who that was stole Kobe that one time?
No, that was
that was
from the Knicks. Child.
Yes. Child stole off on Kobe. Stole off on Kobe, What? Kobe soft, He went crazy. Nobody don't remember that.
But Kobe tried to get back at him, and Kobe didn't go to sleep.
Did.
Kobe ain't go to sleep now. That's the thing. He got him, and Kobe tried to get back at him. He didn't go to sleep. Kobe was laid out like some fish on a frying pan.
Man, stop, man.
Who was out there laid out like they had to come get him up, man.
Man, stop it, man. Leave Poole alone, man. Poole about to go crazy, man. Poole about to go crazy. I can't wait to see. I'm gonna get me a Jordan Poole jersey, man.
Huh? No.
Yeah.
Man, Poole was out there laid out like a fish in the frying pan.
Man, Jordan Poole about to go crazy. And watch him average. Let's give a quick prediction for Jordan Poole right now.
What do you think?
Jordan Poole gonna average 22.
22 points?
Yeah.
How he gonna get opportunities to get the average 22 when you got Clay, you got Steph, you got Wiggins?
You saw him in the playoffs, huh?
Yeah.
When he on the floor by himself, he got the green light, Jack. Watch.
Oh, he gonna shoot. He had averaged 18 last year.
Hello. Okay. Watch. That boy a superstar, man.
No, I ain't gonna call him a superstar, not Pat P.
He ain't no superstar yet, but he's on the verge.
He's a good role player. He's on the
verge.
He's a good role player. Draymond just don't.
I'm gonna take that back. He's not. I won't say he's a superstar, but he is a phenomenal role player.
Yeah, he's a good role player. He can shoot.
He's a phenomenal
really
role
improved. Player. Draymond just don't like him. We got to figure out what the beef about. The NBA started this week.
The man, I don't know if it was that he had the best free throw shooting percentage this year. What was it, man?
Who? Poole?
Yeah, he passed up Steph Curry. 93, I think he was 92.3, 92.5 maybe.
Poole led the league in free throw percentage. You're right.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Hello. He's my breakout star for the NBA this year. I'm calling him right now.
Your breakout star?
Yes. Breakout star of the NBA season.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole.
Well, I hope he got thick skin.
Man, that man got thick skin.
They're gonna let him have it, man.
He got thick skin, man. He just got a soft button on the jaw.
He better hope there's a fan. There ain't no fans that can screenshot the picture of him getting punched and put it on the bulletin board and take it to the arena.
Man, they ain't gonna do nothing but fire him up, man. And what that might do is it might put him in the MVP race. I wanted to show him. Show it, world. Show it to Jordan Poole. That might put him in the MVP race.
He
man.
Say, let me at him.
Let me at. That's what he gonna say. But every time he see the picture, let me at him. I'm about to go out and drop 30. Let me at him.
Oh boy. Dang,
I'm calling it now, man. I'm calling it now, man. Draymond done woke up a monster, man. Let me at him.
We gonna see.
That's what Poole gonna be every week. Let me at him. Give me 35, 30.
Time will
25.
tell. Time will tell. But yeah, Draymond was wrong. Can't do your teammate like that. If you got a problem, there's a better way to handle it. Not during practice. Can't do that.
Because Mac, think about it. I'm still on my boy Jordan Poole real quick. He probably Eric, how many minutes he played last year? Because you know he getting extensive minutes this year.
There was a few injuries that led to him playing a lot more.
Oh, and he about to get he deserved all that now.
Yeah.
What his playing time was like?
Now.
Oh yeah, he's probably the first one in there, if I'm not mistaken.
He should be a strong candidate. He played 30 minutes a night. He should be a strong candidate for 6 man in the year if they don't have him in the starting lineup.
Yeah, so he'll probably average maybe about 4 more minutes. So I can see him averaging 34.
I can see that.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. That's 7 more opportunities. So that's about a 4 minutes is about 7 possessions in the league.
I agree. Well, Pat Pete, man,
yes,
great
sir.
show. A lot to talk about, a lot to digest, and we did so tonight. But of course, the main event is this Sunday down in South Florida, Hard Rock Stadium. The Vikings traveling down to play against the Miami Dolphins. The last game before the bye week. Man, you're 4-1. The goal is to be 5-1 right into the bye week so Pat Pete can enjoy all his tropical Sprite.
Yes, sir. You know it.
Hey, be safe this weekend. Have a great game, my guy. And whoever the quarterback is, man, make sure they throw 7 one of them balls.
Man, I got to go get me one, dog. I got to.
No doubt.